Hello web developers and welcome to my first PHP tutorial. Well, in this tutorial we're going to learn how to make a simple login form. So let's jump to the demo. As you can see here, I have a very basic HTML login form. I'm going to type in here my username, the password. Now when I hit login, it should redirect me to my profile page. And there you go. Now let's say if the user actually types a wrong password. It should tell me that I'm using a wrong username or a password. I didn't want to actually specify if it's a wrong username or password because, you know, you're on the internet, you want to minimize the amount of info that you give the user because, you know, some users will try to hack you or whatever, so you want to avoid that kind of problems. Now the last thing that I want to show you is what if the user actually tries to type in a too short username. Okay, and I hit login. It should tell me that the username should be within 3 to 20 characters long, and the same thing for the password, of course. Now in this tutorial I'm just going to show you how to create a simple form and to check if the form is submitted, it's not empty, and to check if the username and the password have the right length. But we're not going to check if the user actually exists in the database for this tutorial, but we'll see it in the next tutorial, hopefully. Okay, so as you can see here, I basically created two PHP files. The first one I called home.php. So you can see here, this is home.php. This is the same page. I'm going to refresh that. And in this file, I included the second file, which is form.php. Now, this page, home.php, is going to include the form that I just showed you, and this is going to grab the variables of that form, and it's going to test if the username and the password have the right length or not. So let's see here. And then you have here, I'm just, you know, this is just basically HTML. What I'm telling him that I'm using this style sheet, wherever. Okay, now here I have my form. I actually wanted to include my form in a table so it would look neat. As you can see, I named it form1. You can name it whatever you want. The method here is post, so that, you know, when I'm in this form, I'm posting like these variables so that I can use them in this form, in this file. So here I'm telling him post so that this file can grab those variables by using the keyword post. Okay, so that's pretty simple, right? You know, you have the get method, but you know, that's a different deal. So this is why I'm using the method post, so that this different page can actually grab those infos. Okay, and the action here, I chose it to be home.php so that whenever the user is typing a username or a password that has the wrong length, then I'm going to redirect him to the same page and the same page until he actually give a username that has the right length for us. So as you can see here, basically my form contains two input fields. It's pretty simple, like two input fields and one login button. The input fields here, I have to insist that, you know, you want to specify the name of the input type and the ID, so that, you know, when I'm grabbing, so that in this file, when I'm grabbing the post variable, it knows what variable that I'm talking about. When I say post of variable of this variable username, you know, he knows that I'm talking about, you know, username. And the same thing for the password, of course. You have to specify the name and the ID of the input. And then here I put the keyword required. What this does is basically when I try to like submit a form that is empty here, it will tell the user that you need to fill out that field. And the same thing for the password, of course. I'm not gonna. Okay. And here the placeholder this is pretty simple. This tells the user what to write in that field. You know, here username, you can type whatever you want there for you, and the value is username. Okay. Okay, so we move now to the submit button. You know, it's I named it submit so that, you know, in the next page I can, you know, grab that button, know if it's clicked or not. And the value login, you can put login, sign up, whatever you want to put there. That's what's going to be displayed over here. So it's pretty simple, as you can see. This piece of code that I'm not going to discuss today, this actually deals with, you know, when everything's okay, when the user gives a username and a password that has the correct length, then this code will be executed. Oh my god. Then this code will be executed. But we're not gonna make this video too long. We're gonna see that next time. Now let's jump to the second PHP file that I just made. Okay, so this is pretty simple. This is purely PHP, as you can see. Now first of all, I declared a variable. I called it error. And for starters, it's gonna be empty. Here I'm going to check if the form is submitted. In other words, if the button login has actually been clicked. Because, you know, here you see the post of submit. That means I have a post variable that has the name submit. And when I come here, I'm talking about the button. It has the name submit, so it knows that I'm talking about this post variable. Okay, so if the button is clicked, I'm going to grab these variables from the form. So I called it username. You can call it whatever you want. So I declared a variable username, and it's going to get the username. So this is grab the post variable of username, as you can see. So this is basically just grabbing the post variables from the previous form. And as you can notice here, I used the HTML function HTML entities, and what this basically does is that it filters the user input, because, you know, some people will try to inject some SQL code or whatever, so you really want to be careful, especially when you're dealing with user input. You have to be extra cautious with that. So that's why I used this function. Now moving on. Well, in this part, I'm going to show. I'm showing the user. I'm going to check if the post variables that the user has given me have the right length or not. So here, as you can see, I called the function string length on the variable username that I just grabbed from the form, and I'm testing if the length of this string of this variable is less than 3, or if it's more than 20. Then I'm going to show this to the user. I'm going to tell him that, you know, the username should be within 3 to 20 characters long, and the same thing for the password, of course. So as you can see, it's pretty simple, you know, but this is just checking the length of the username and the password. The next tutorial we'll see how to check if the user actually exists in the database, supposing that he gave a username and a password that has the correct length. Well, see you next time. Bye.